It's just Selena.
It's your boy D.
I'm sorry. You're tuning in a homeroom with Smooth. Class is now in session.
All right, y'all. So listen, I am live. Okay, I am live. We are live. You know what I'm saying, with your boy Chris Siders. How you doing today, bro?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. God is good, and God is good all the time. You know what I mean? All the time, God is good.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I feel that, and all the time, guys. Amen, amen, amen to that,
Hmm.
man. So, man, what's been on with you, man? How you doing?
Man, a lot, a lot. Just got off a tour from Switzerland. First time international.
Oh, that's crazy.
Opened up for a couple artists. West Side Boogie was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And yo, we going international again next year. And
Okay.
yeah, this was the most brutal yet rewarding year I've ever had. Like I lost my pops in February, and then my cousin like
Man,
a month
sorry to hear that.
after. Yeah,
Sorry to hear that, man.
but then like from that made so much music. I have like I don't know how many EPs in the tuck right now.
Mm-hmm.
I did my own West Coast tour and then like a couple runs. I'm on like my last run of the year right now, and like I get to connect with so many great people like yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we I'm healing. I'm healing right now, so I'm feeling way
Yeah.
better than what I was.
Yeah, I feel that, man. That because that situation is tough on anybody, man. And then then just like how'd you get your mind to like rebound back into like what I'm saying, like work mode? You know what I mean? Like how did you use work as like an as an outlet of like emotional expression? You know what I'm saying? As far as like doing music, like how that work?
Yeah, honestly, so my latest EP, the Emancipation of Chris Siders, I made that in 1 week, and
Ooh.
because I was so consumed with grief to where I'm just like, man, like I gotta get this out somehow, like in you know in conjunction with like my losing my pops and my cousin, I was going through a really bad breakup and losing friends and reconnecting with old friends, and so many things was going on, and I didn't really grieve the past of my brother from 3 years ago and my grandmother, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so many different things just came to the surface to where I kind of utilize work as a way of like just maneuvering things, but that's
Mm-hmm.
also like a really bad thing if not careful because I developed a
Yeah.
work addiction, and
Mm.
um and then along with other vices and things, um and yeah, that's kind of how that happened. But my dad always told me, and I will always keep this with me:
Mm-hmm.
never let anybody fuck with the money.
Hey, that's facts. That's
Never let
facts.
anybody fuck with the money. So
Right.
keeping that in mind, I kept going. My pops actually, when he passed away on Valentine's Day, my mom asked me, "Are you gonna still go to Portland?" Because I had a show in Portland, Oregon, the next day, and I had a show that night in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to Portland." And I left the hospital and I went and did that show in Hollywood. Shout out to my brothers at the Vine Tree. It was their
Mm-hmm.
show, and they had me on for a song. Right before I was crying, and then I went on stage, did my thing with Wes and
Mm-hmm.
Mari, and got off stage, broke down. And that's when it hit me like, you keep going like this, you're probably gonna die. Because it's like you're not taking care of yourself. So I actually ended up canceling that Portland show, but I gave myself a week and I was right back at it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, cause yeah. It's important. It's important to go through all the stages of grief, like all of them, and like there's no timetable on them. Cause I know for me, like it like how you said, like old stuff like resurface when that happened, because you never realize like how much emotions like you're suppressing all the time till like something finally breaks the dam and you go to
Mm-hmm.
put a band-aid on it and like it
Mm-hmm.
ain't stopping nothing. Like it's just nothing but tears and everything just flowing out. And you're just like, man, like, you know what I'm saying? I really never acknowledged that.
Yeah, grief is such a strange thing because like what, like 2 years ago, I was out of town performing. Oh well, actually before that, like a few days before I went out of town to perform for this festival, uh,
Mhm.
in California, uh, my grandfather on my mom's side passed away, and
Mm.
there was a lot of dark history surrounding like his behavior and different things to that extent. So like trying to talk to my mom about him and like her relationship to him, she wouldn't say anything. And to this
Mm.
day, I don't know much on her side. I just know like rumors and different things like that, and also like different truths. So like I don't know how she feels about that, and that's a part of grief.
Mhm.
Shame is associated with grief in different ways.
Mm.
So yeah, and then like what, few days later, yeah, I'm up north, and then the day after my birthday, my grandmother on my dad's side passed away.
Mm.
So my dad never he wasn't the type to cry like that. I only saw him cry like probably 3 times in my life. First time was when he told me that I had the sickle cell trait. Um,
Mm.
and then second time was, yeah, when my grandmother passed away. Um, well, hearing them on the phone when I was up north, and then at the funeral.
Mm.
So like when it comes to grief as Black people and people of color, we got to figure out how to let out those emotions in a positive manner. And, let me ask you something. How
Yeah.
do you handle grief?
How do I handle grief? So,
Yeah.
whoo, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I do, man. For the longest time, like you know what I'm saying. Like, I really like dived into like just like straight like it was just straight terrible behavior. Like, I'm just gonna be just 110% honest.
No,
Like,
let's
you know what
talk
I'm
about
saying?
it.
It was just straight terrible behavior, whether it was drinking, whether it was, you know what I'm saying, like partying, you know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that it's all bad. It's just it was to a point where it was bad. Like it was too much doing that. Like I was, you know what I'm saying, I was playing video games to like escape it. You know what I'm saying? I was doing everything but turning and addressing what I was feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Anything but that. I would
yeah.
do anything. I'd work, you know what I'm saying? I work really hard. I do everything, but at the end of the day, um I eventually had to come to terms with it to like actually like progress and I actually like go further. Um but yeah, that's how I actually deal with grief now is like I actually like sit down and I might like record a video of me just talking. Like
Mm,
and it's not even about necessarily the situation, but just talking. Like and I'll just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk till finally I'll say something about it. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Till I finally get all the dodging out of me to where now I'm there where I'm in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can only talk about so much, you can only dodge so much, and then I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying, and then I'll address it there. I'll have the video. I'll delete it after it. Like I'll play it back, the portion that listen to myself, and then I'll delete it,
mm,
and then I'll go back and actually record the actual video that I actually wanted to record. But you know what I'm saying? That's me. Like I need to like actually say it. If I don't vocalize it, it's not real.
mm. So it's kind of like a form of like a diary or a journal entry, but just in like video form.
Yeah.
That's dope because like I think um sometimes as people, even with like our artistry, we kind of feel as if like, oh, I'm not ready to share X, Y, and Z. But who says that you have to share your artistry, or you have to share your emotions with other people. Like
Mm-hmm.
sharing can be sorry, my dog.
That's all good.
Little Charlie Brown. Hey Charlie. Yeah, who says that you had to share with other people? Sharing could be just something as simple as reading it out loud, performing it out loud to yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
the building that relationship with self is a really important thing. And I learned that the hard way. Just like with you,
Mm-hmm.
I was succumbing to different vices earlier this year when everything was going down. I'm not a drinker. I never really drank. I never smoked to this day, but I did have like a couple cups of alcohol
Mm-hmm.
because I was going through it so much, and I was telling my friends like, "Yo, if you ever see me with like cups or anything, just slap it out of my hand, or like just take the cup from me." And
Yeah.
yeah, and I haven't like drank since. But again, so yeah, all my folks at home, if you see this, like, yeah, do that. you're
Yeah.
you're a
Yeah.
real one. Yeah. So
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Man, how old are you, bro?
I just turned 30.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, let me guess. Like how old do you think I am by just looking at me?
Man, honestly, I thought you was like 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, bro, about like 26, 27. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, cool, cool. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm.
one thing I did want to get in dive into before we get into like the actual music was like your art direction that you choose. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed like every artist is particular in like the art direction that they choose, except for like Drake because he just doesn't care. He trolls with it. But like you I'm just being honest. That dude is a troll.
Sh- Shout over yo. I
Hey,
say
no, no, but look, I fooled with him. I'm a Stan account, bro.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah,
I'm a
no.
walk and Stan account, but at the same time, I can acknowledge, like, bro is trolling hard. Like, who
Mhm.
puts pregnant emojis on an album cover? Like, let's be real. Like, and goes platinum too. Like, like so at the same time, at the same time though, even with saying that, um, your art direction is very like it's very particular. Like each thing means something. So I want to ask you, like, number one, like what does each album cover like well EP cover, excuse me, like mean to you? And then two, you know what I'm saying? Like even with the single art, like because I noticed like you have like a particular like person that you're doing most of the shots with. It looks like it's the same girl. So I was just like wanting to know, like, yo, like so like is that your like you and that person like y'all like art creative together? You know what I'm saying? Is that your creative other half as far as like artistic direction?
Man, I'm so happy that you caught that. So creative direction. Yeah. The first album, the whole idea was um playing off of anime. I
Okay.
was a huge anime head as like in high school. I used to watch like Dragon Ball Z, Tenchi Muyo, um
Same.
uh Lupin the Third,
Yeah.
Inuyasha, yeah, all
Yeah.
that. And so then
Yeah.
recently the homies, well, around that time, we was watching Tokyo Revengers. It's fairly new, and it
Mhm.
was about a kid going back in time to stop the killing of his girlfriend. And
Yeah.
I took that concept and kind of flipped it into where,
Mhm.
what if like I could like travel back in time to all these different parts of like my trauma
Mm.
and like face it head on. How would
Right.
that work out? And so I created this fictional character, Dr. Dark Time, for like the first album. That's what Misadventures
Mm.
is about. Um,
Okay.
Time traveling trauma, and then like mixing like religion in the mix of like having faith and
Okay.
believing that things is gonna be okay. So it's that battle of pharmaceuticals versus religion. And then the second project, the Emancipation, is about holistic medicine. And I'm not
Mm.
telling the listener which modes of healing is better, that's for you to decide. I'm just
Facts.
giving um my
Perspective.
perspective. And so yeah, so that first album cover, right? Um it yeah, it's a cartoon character, me strapped to like the chair and everything, and going through time traveling and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the second cover, Emancipation, it's about the tenderness. Shout out to Edward Asais. He's like my
Mm-hmm.
photographer. Well, not my photographer, but like we work together on photography and modeling. I do a lot of new modeling for him. And him and Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. And
Mm-hmm.
because that project in particular is about anger, it's about spirituality
Yeah.
and grief. So we don't hold ourselves with such tender and care when it comes to grief. So
Mm.
Sarah was like holding me in such a way. And if you look at my face is still, it has that paranoid face of like, can I trust you with like what I'm presenting to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the colors is bright, because it's a healing project. There's dark undertones, but it's a healing project. So
Right.
that's the whole idea. And then right after that, I had like a little remix project with EDM, and it's still continuing that storyline. So go from being in the doctor's office to my friend Nee that's giving the advice. She's actually like a Reiki practitioner and um, do a lot of
Yes,
modes of
because
healing.
they were doing they had the you had the chime thing, the little bell thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
As
sound
soon as
bath.
I heard it because I used to date a girl that did that. Like, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Don't you feel better?" And I was like, "Yeah, I actually do." Like,
Yeah, it's wild because like she been trying to get me to meditate for so long, and like that was like the other like layer to the project is that like, all right, like you need to sit the fuck down and breathe, just breathe and meditate. And then it's kind of that journey of me like, all right, like, is it like taming that monster from within? Because I
hmm
have issues with that. I have issues with paranoia. I have issues with my relationships and different things like that, and just trying to face it head on.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah. I feel that. I feel that, man. So I guess you know what I'm saying. Let's talk about your most recent record you dropped on the 12th. I want to say, like, did I
ooh,
read that
yeah,
right?
yeah. The
Yeah,
12. Yeah.
yeah, I'm so fucking good. But yeah, yeah.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, you're welcome. So tell the people about that record. You know what I'm saying, and walk it through it. You know what I'm saying? Because I noticed that has the same like cover, but it's different. Like it's like a cup. The cover art is has the same you and her, but it's different. So I wanted to know from you like what's the direction there? Is that part of like your progression to the next project? You know what I'm saying? Is that the bridge? See, like, cause I'm listening to it, I'm hearing it, but I need to confirm. Like, is that the bridge? You know what I'm saying? Is that where you're going?
A fucking plus.
Fucking goat. I'm like, goat.
My man is catching everything. Salute to Smooth. Oh my goodness. So, okay. All right. Here's the breakdown. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a precursor to the next like big project. Um so it's I have a series I've been building called The Release. And this
Mm,
is the second part to that series. The first one is me rapping over the Roots Piece of Light instrumental.
mhm.
And I made that right after my dad passed away. And people was coming up to me like before he passed and after he passed saying protect your heart, protect your heart. And I believe that God tells people to go to you to relay a message. Like when I passed away from COVID and came back, brand new,
Whoa.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
talk.
We'll get into it. We'll get into
What?
it. We'll get
Yo,
into it. I know. I know. I just
what?
dropped the.
Yeah, like, hey, what's going on? What you mean?
we'll get into that. We'll get.
Okay, okay.
Um, but yeah, when I passed away from COVID and came back, people was coming up to me randomly, was like, "You're divinely guided. You're divinely guided. Keep going what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing." And people from the Uber driver to motherfuckers on the street, um, people at McDonald's randomly. And so I believe it was a reoccurring thing of this year of like protect your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So um yeah, that so I made the release part one, just 3 minutes of me just rapping. I'm just going in,
Mm-hmm.
um, and yeah, I talked about my pops, the
Mm-hmm.
recent relationship breakup, and uh, I did someone deliberately, and I took their name out because I don't want to get in any trouble. But I mean, people gonna learn to stop fucking with me. But
I mean, no, not sometimes. Look, bro, I'm gonna tell you. Sometimes you gotta let them know. Okay, I just went through that on Twitter with somebody. Like sometimes you gotta let them know. Like, dude came at me sideways, and I broke down his whole life, like whole life. I don't play that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, especially if somebody's like insulting your craft or something that you're pouring your all and your heart into. Like,
Mhm,
nah, don't just let that disrespect slide, because that's you're letting them slide off of you. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? And I'm not saying go to war with that person, but I'm saying definitely let them know that, hey, if you step over into this territory, you better be ready to finish it.
Yeah, exactly. In this particular case, it was someone that like knew that I was going through a hard time, but then still chose to disrespect me and
Mm-hmm.
like kind of just like disrespect my time and my energy and use my name for their clout. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's why I was like, oh nah, like you ain't getting away with that. Like that ain't it.
Right.
So that yeah, that's the release part one. Part two, now that's going even deeper into what was happening around that time period, but mainly focused on relationships.
Right.
Now the cover is with a different young woman. Her name is Megan. Shout out Megan.
Okay.
Same photographer,
Okay. That's
Edward.
why it looks the same. Okay.
And the idea now originally that cover was going to be the cover for this double album that I've been working on,
Mm.
which was about like my breakup, but uh but I thought it was fitting for this because it's kind of like that tenderness. You don't want that tenderness to backfire at you,
Mm-hmm.
and like but it's still like kind of going all out, and it's like me just like fighting to like survive and get up. Like you see my arms is up and everything in the
Mm-hmm.
cover, and then
Yeah.
like her hands is still like around my throat, but I'm still going. And
Yeah.
because that yeah, it was about like people trying to jump on my back when I said, oh yo, I'm going to Switzerland to perform, I'm opening for West Side Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
And the and then also some of the crazy shit. Yeah, so much happened. So much happened with those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Friends turning on me. Um, but I'm trying not to hold on to that anger. That's why I made the release series. It's mainly for myself, but
Mm-hmm.
also to document and pinpoint what's going on at that particular time. So like you can always go back on like some hero's journey type shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that. I feel that. Okay, okay. Man, yeah, yeah. I'm glad I caught that. So the emancipation. So yeah, we'll just walk backwards from emancipation to misadventure. So the emancipation. So first of all, you already talked about it, like the you started off with the Reiki and the chimes and all that. So you would say like, you know what I'm saying, being meditation was a huge part in you becoming more like getting to the next step and addressing your feelings and things of that nature, or like staying grounded and rooted. What else are the other like really big standouts to you on the project?
The big standouts, honestly, for me, the sequencing and like the deep breaths, like knee hit that spot on. Like it's so wild, you know. Like if you listen to the transition from the song "It's Okay" to "Sincerely a Black Boy's Cry," like
Yeah.
it gives me chills every time, and that those are like honestly my favorite moments. And then also the transition in uh the from the first part to the second part of Black Boys Cry,
Yeah.
where my dad's last voicemail, and I decided to like put that in there. And before in the background, in the background, that's my dad.
I was
Um,
like, who is that? Wow, that makes so much sense though.
yeah, yeah, that's my dad, and that's the very last voicemail he sent me. In Because I was always out and about performing in different
Hmm.
things, and like I wouldn't call home because I'm always
Hmm.
doing shit. And
Yeah.
what's happening in the background is me getting robbed at 12 years old. So like
Oh.
it was some I got held up at gunpoint
Hmm.
by three gangbangers when I was 12.
Damn.
And um so like the whole message of it was like, I want my dad, I'm scared, like I'm in this world by myself, you know.
Mm.
And all I got is this like last voice message to like remember that sense of security and protection. And like now
Damn.
I'm crying, and now I'm taking it out on the world, and I'm saying fuck you bitch and da 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 da, and I'm like mad as shit, and I'm talking about violence.
Yeah. Yeah, because I noticed because I listened to track one, then I listened to It's Okay, and then three came on, and I'm like, man, bro's a bit angry here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro's a bit angry. You know what I'm saying? But like, man, you explaining that, it makes so much sense, man. So then we love, we hate. So what would you say was wa- the thing with that?
We love we hate explains my paranoia. I have
Ah,
I've I've been diagnosed with severe anxiety and PTSD in 2019, and that was due to me being homeless for like a year and a half, 2 years in Monterey County, which is like
okay.
central coast of California.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I live out here.
yeah, oh, for sure. Then you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So then, yeah, yeah, that and just sacrificing myself so much for like the community and not really like taking care of myself. Again, going back to self-care.
Mm-hmm.
And like I keep telling like my music friends, like, yo, if you put yourself first, you're actually ahead of the curve. Because like look at the revered legends that we idolize like right now, that that continue to fall. Kanye West, for example. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, can we honestly say that he's taking care of his health right now with all the different things that's going on with the recent divorce, his family, and it's not my place to talk about another man's kids or family or anything of that extent. I'm just talking
Yeah.
about like the health aspect of like really just putting yourself first.
Right.
And like in the black community, we don't do that. We don't do that. And so um yeah, so I just try to encourage the little homies, like, put your health first and then go with the music, because all the ideas and the concepts, you'll be able to think clear, think straight, and make better moves instead of rushing for a bag, which
Yeah.
always messes up at the end.
Yeah. Nah, you right about rushing for the bag. That always messes up in the end, man. Cause like, you know what I'm saying, like they're in the podcast thing spear or whatever, and like they were like running like 110 miles per hour, And you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? And like one dude, we was talking in DM and he was like, oh yeah, I just passed you or whatever, whoopty whoopty whoop. And I was like, I'm not concerned. I'm like, I'm doing me at me's pace right now. And the craziest part of that was uh yeah, so Deacon Urban, yeah, LA, Monterey County, like all of that. That California's tough in general.
Mm-hmm.
Um so with that with that being said, with that being said, it was just one of those like the person was just like they're moving 1,000 miles an hour, and then eventually they just stopped. They just stopped, and like I want to say like 6, 7 months went by, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, I'm like, I wonder what how so and so is doing. And I looked and I said, last video 6 months ago. I said, I'm like, man, what happened? So you know what I'm saying? So I hit him up, you know what I'm saying? Like just hitting him up, like, yeah, yo, bro, what's going on? He's like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like watching whoopty whoopty whoop happened with the family. I lost my car, whoop 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 whoop, blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah. So now I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just working right now da 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 da. And I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, that stuff's unfortunate, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, to attack at the level that he was attacking at was admirable, but it was just way too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just way too much, and it was something that he couldn't keep up. And that's another thing. Like I tell a lot of artists that I interview, I'm like, go at the pace that you can maintain. As long as you can maintain that pace and deliver to your audience in that frequency, that's fine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whatever your frequency is gonna be, just stick to that and stay there. Just stay there. You know what I'm saying? And if you're actually ready, everything's actually like you're geared up for a big push, then cool, jump and big push. You know what I'm saying? But don't get ahead of yourself because you want to get to the end already. Because that's a lot of people in life. They're ready to get to the end, but the end is not what's important. What's important is the journey. Because if you're not if you're not right, if you don't get right and get yourself right through the journey, by the time you get to the end, you're not ready for that place, and you always end up falling backwards. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being able to stand there 10 toes down, you know what I'm saying, and you're able to weather the storm because it's rainy up there. The wind is strong up there, but it feels like a normal environment for you. And people look at you like you're crazy, like, yo, man, how are you able to stand up there? It's cold. I said, no, this is normal. This is my environment. I was bred by this. This is what I know. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
know how to exist here. You know what I'm saying? Then you can gear yourself up and go to the next level.
Mm-hmm. And see, you get it. You fucking get it. Like, cause yo, like people think that, and with it, the issue is is striking a balance, right?
Hmm.
When you strike a balance, and it's a delicate art, striking a balance between like your life, your work life, and several other things in the mix, right? But also too within that, like checking your ego, your sense of entitlement. People think that they're so
Mm.
entitled to different like record
Mm.
deals and different things to that
Yeah.
extent, and it's like, yo, you gotta hit those open mics. You have to do that. You
Hmm.
gotta bring yourself down to like, all right, I'm gonna do this 3 minute set. Cool.
Hmm.
Talk to people, shake hands, be around people that's better than you.
Yes.
Be around people that's better. When you around people that's better than you, you get concepts and ideas and like, okay, I could do that. And,
Hmm.
and and there's nothing wrong with thinking like, oh yeah, I could probably like outdo that person X, Y, and Z, but don't be on no arrogant stuff like, oh, like trying to check them or whatever. Like,
Hmm.
because yo, these waters are shark infested. You'll get ate up real quick,
Yeah.
real fast, especially in LA, especially in California.
Hmm.
You know, everybody hungry for a deal. And I guarantee you, the next rapper that's sitting next to you, they're ready to fuck you up.
Hmm.
And like I'm kind of that. I'm not gonna lie, like that ego is on my shoulder too. Like I have a chip on my shoulder of like, yo, I want my respect. And so like if a rapper comes up to next to me and you on some funny shit, I'm going after you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because everybody's hungry. Everybody like we just trying to feed our families at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like and and so yeah, starting off at like the modest level of like, yo, hit those open mics, make those connections, be around people that's better than you, and show love. People don't show
Mhm.
love no more. You got to build
Right.
those genuine connections in those relationships, and um and also don't live a lifestyle that's above your pay grade.
Yeah.
People, man, like, yo, check it.
Yeah.
When I was in Switzerland, I lived off of sandwich meat, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like the place I was at was nice. The hotel and the rooms I was in was nice. But then, like, did you know it costs like $16 for like a McChicken meal out there? A medium?
Huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You heard me right.
From the McChicken?
A McChicken
So
meal.
they have a $16 menu? Like, that's crazy.
They don't even have a value menu, bro. That's
Oh,
crazy.
that's nuts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be out here trying to floss and then go broke and then come back home you in the red and then you have no money to promote your own music. This the independent
Ooh.
game. This the
Right.
independent game. You think these record labels are gonna help you out when you come back home?
Right.
You better help yourself.
Hey, that's facts. That's facts.
So like, yeah, like don't live a lifestyle above your pay grade. Hit those open mics. Be genuine. Check your ego all the time,
Mhm.
and continue to build and know your worth.
Yeah.
Know your worth and add value
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, I can say like one of my number one things is like I don't know or realize like the value of like my platform or like my own work because like it for me I'm still in the same place like at least like mentally I'm still like grinding. I'm still like, yo, I gotta do these videos. I gotta do this other thing. Like before we started, like I was like, yeah, I just recorded this video. I gotta put this out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still in that mode. So I still see myself as the same person I was, still trying to like get somewhere. But whenever somebody makes me turn around, they're like, nah, turn around, look, dude. And I look and I go, oh shoot, I did do some pretty cool stuff over here. I didn't actually like made some huge strides. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like actually like getting out there in this YouTube and podcast space. And you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you just have to you kind of gotta like pat yourself on the back, ironically
Mm,
enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to treat yourself every now and then to go, you know what? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've earned to just sleep tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to stay up 4 to 5 hours extra and
yeah.
get 4 or 5 hours of sleep and go do this other thing. Like, no, like I can get the full night's rest. I've earned it at least one day this week, you know?
Yeah, like, yo, it's so important to give that love back to yourself and like acknowledging those accomplishments, like you're saying, and count those blessings. Like,
Mhm.
I had the biggest problem with that up until like mid trip in Switzerland.
Mhm.
Um, I was just so on goal mode, but then grief was a part of that, and
Yeah.
like I just wasn't all the way there until my manager, shout out Felix, Urbane. I still need that verse, bro. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Watch me get that text message like, bro, what you doing?
Right.
But he he was like, yo, did you know what you just did this year in like less than 8 months? You went on the most legendary run. If you don't pat yourself on the back, I
Yeah.
was like, what you mean pat myself on the back, bro? Like I'm just working. But nah, we got to give love to ourselves. And
Fact.
shout out to you, bro, and much love to you. Like, you're still doing it. That's the biggest thing. Keep doing it because it only takes one video. It
Yeah.
only takes one.
Yep. That's all you need is just one video. Just one. You just need the right person at the right time to see whatever it is or hear whatever it is you're doing. And then that's it. And then they share it or then they start fucking with you and then dominoes start to line up and things start falling into place. And as long as you stay in motion, the wheel gonna keep turning. And then next thing you know, you cracking. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like, cause what was it like? Cause people start hitting me up because I made some post or whatever on Twitter because we're live on Twitter, well, X now. We're live on X as well.
Uh,
And we I made some post, and somebody was like, "How'd that go viral? Like, how'd you do that?" And I'm like, honestly, I just know the right people now. Like, I have the right connections of friends, and I wouldn't have got to this point if I wouldn't have done XXYZ. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then just being willing to help somebody else out, and initially it don't benefit you none.
Mm,
Initially it don't benefit you none.
mm,
Like, just offering a service like, hey, I think I can improve this area of this, you know what I'm saying? Like, if do you have some time to hear me out, let me, you know what I'm saying? Because I do like SEO for like YouTube and stuff for people
mm,
as well. So like, if somebody wants like a video, you want it to like actually like get ranked and get higher views than where it was at, like I can do that for people. Like, that's just something I can do. And so like, I was just talking with her, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're really cool." Like, she's like, "Yeah, yeah," and she's like, "I'm gonna follow you back." You know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop whoop whoop, and then boom boom boom, and then me and her, we've been cool since. Like, she's came on my podcast and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And and yeah, like, it was just one of those things where, you know what I'm saying, her uh, from me doing that out of just the kindness of my own heart, because I seen where she was at. Like, we were about equal, but like, if I was jealous, I would have said, "Oh, we're about equal. I can be better than her. Let me just keep my mouth closed and not try and help her." But in reality, by me making her bigger, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, helping her fit that last little piece in the puzzle. Like, she's jumped up to where she got like almost 20K subscribers now. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So when it's time for like me to do like the actual like interview with her, the actual like sit down and we chopping up with her, like,
mm.
it's gonna benefit me dividends. You know what I'm
It's gonna
saying?
explode.
And we
Yeah.
and we actually cool. You know what I'm saying? She pushes me out my stuff out to her following. You know what I'm saying? So like on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Like, I jumped from being friends with her, I jumped 500 followers, and my video went freaking viral, and it's just off of me just being genuinely who I was, and actually like just not being like jealous or anything, and just helping somebody else out. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And making those connections. And that's what I tell everybody to do. Like, just make those connections.
Make those connections and find community.
Yeah.
And shout out to my folks back home in LA. This is a community that I'm a part of called Palms Up Academy, and the motto is "You shine, I shine." That sense of community, that sense
Hmm.
of camaraderie and collaboration. You
Yeah.
know, like this year, my very first show this year, um, like I was blessed enough through that community to assemble the fire choir. And the fire
Hmm.
choir is a band where we have like a DJ,
Hmm.
drums, and a three-piece choir. Now
Hmm.
it is kind of somewhat modeled after like Kanye West Sunday service choir, but like just kind of manipulating it in my own way, where like, you know, just being a kid from LA and having these like
Hmm.
deep cuts, those ratchet jams, and like everybody just having fun and creating a storyline within the set. Like the
Yeah.
first set was about ego death and killing the ego,
Okay.
killing my ego and checking myself. Second set was about motivation, and I have another set coming up in like a week or two in the IE, the Inland Empire, and that
Okay.
one's gonna be geared around like relationships and love. Because I've been working on that double album, and that's what that's about, like my previous relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me hey, send me the info for that in the IE, because I'm close to there, so I can pull up.
Oh,
Possibly.
bet. Okay.
Possibly. I ain't gonna
Okay.
guarantee it, but possibly I can pull up.
For
Depending on the
sure.
time, as long as I'm not out of town, shoot, we up.
Okay, bet. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would definitely shoot that to you. Shout out my guy Elijah. Elijah. He's going on tour. That's his first gig, and he has me on as a supporting act. And he's going to the Philippines uh end of November
Oh,
to
that's
mid
lit.
December. Yeah,
That's lit.
yeah. So hey,
That's
yo,
nice.
artists out here, we get into it. We We on that independent hustle, that independent grind, and again, that sense of collaboration and love for each other, and that's what matters.
Right, man. Let's let's talk about misadventures, and then then we'll jump into like your musical influences because we were having that conversation earlier. And
Mhm.
then also, I ain't forgot that you almost died, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll get to it.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever you
yeah.
want to jump into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the misadventures, right?
Hmm.
So that project, it's another. Let me pull that up because so that one is 18 records. Boy, you went off on here like you were like, yo, this is my debut. My debut. Well, this is the deluxe edition technically. So
Yeah,
technically, it probably started with less records on there, and then you added more.
yeah,
But you know what I'm saying? Like let the people know about it because you said it's like the guy he's sitting in a chair, and you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? He's being warped to different futures and different timelines and things of that nature. So
yeah.
tell people about that project.
Okay, for sure. So like the the first version, the not the deluxe version, that's where you see the like my character strapped to a chair and whatnot. And then the deluxe edition is kind of like oh like those multiple personalities. So like if you look at the track listing, you'll see like different characters with a certain theme. Like there's Loverboy James theme, there's Pastel Perps theme,
Mm-hmm.
Bushwick Billy, so on and so on. Now, the whole Chris Sider's lore or audio universe that I'm building is based upon those different sides itself, and it's all about honoring our different sides. Because again, we all get angry, we all have a political side, we all like lovey-dovey with people. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like when we get head over heels for somebody, and we got that player, we got that confident side, and then there's you and
Right.
us as people. We have all those different things, and so the different layers to misadventures. Again, it's about the trauma. It's about not being afraid to confront those different sides of yourself and honoring those different sides of yourself and knowing that there's pros and cons to each side. You know, like my next project is a Loverboy James project. Now
Okay.
he's really sensitive, but he could be a pushover. That's a pro and a
Mm.
con. Being
Yeah.
in tune with emotion, but then you could be a pushover.
Right.
You're not in a good situation, but you still be in it.
Yep.
Uh, Bushwick Billy, shout out to Bushwick Bill, R.I.P. Um, that's the violent side.
Okay.
Pro, don't take no shit. Con could probably take it too far.
Okay.
So like that's what that is. And so the first original track listing is just setting up this like universe, right? And
Mhm.
I kind of give you who Chris Siders is and what these characters are, and then that deluxe edition is kind of like me going back into the office and like, oh, there's like side effects to this like prescription that I just did, this little machine that I just got on, and
Mhm.
no one ain't helping me out with this. Um, and yeah, that's kind of what that whole thing is. And
Okay.
now it's building all these albums off of misadventures right now. Yeah.
Facts. Facts. I feel that. I feel that, man. Yeah, man. Dang, that's crazy. Like now that you saying the themes, like it really like makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, okay, Chris Justice, Bushwick Billy. Then you got who the fuck was the last? The last one was shoot, Loverboy James. That's the one you last mentioned. Last
Yeah.
mentioned Loverboy James, and it's just okay. That makes the album. That makes the album conceptually make sense to me. 'Cause I was like, I'm like theme. I'm like, what? And I'm like, but then again, like I was just getting into you, you know what I'm saying? But starting there and then going into Emancipation and then your newest record, that's what allowed me to catch everything else. Because I was like, okay, like I have who he is, then I'm like catching stuff later. I should have taken more time to revisit back to this. back to this project, and I'll go back to it. I'll go back to it once we're done here, so then I can see more. You know what I'm saying now after having talked with you. Um, but I guess my next question is like I caught like influences of like, well, it's not a question, it's more of a statement, like we were
Yeah.
talking about. I caught influences of like ASAP Rocky, Frank Ocean, like Odd Future, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting those type of vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as like who you're influenced by, but you know what I'm saying? You tell me personally, like who are you influenced by?
Honestly, Lupe Fiasco is like my favorite rapper.
Okay.
Uh, Food and Liquor, his first album, and The Cool, and some of his more recent work like Tetsuo and Youth and Drill Music and Zion. Those are like my top albums. Like I study those lyrics all the time.
Mm,
And then when it comes to like conceptual songwriting, Kendrick Lamar and
okay.
like some of his sonics, and how he just approaches things. Production, Kanye West and Tyler the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
For like production, I really pay close attention to like what they're doing because I kind of feel like they're doing things differently than the norm instead of just a regular like trap beat. And I think us as musicians, we need to like really set ourselves apart. By setting ourselves apart, that adds to the authenticity of like what you're trying to convey instead of like just getting
Yep.
some regular generic ass trap beat and then like and I understand like everything is like based on access, right? We might not have the access to like a band or like a producer and to like really grow with people.
Mm-hmm.
But like I encourage everyone to like find somebody that you can really work with and hone in on that sound.
Right.
Because once you do that, you set yourself apart miles ahead from everybody.
Right, right, and that's one thing I can say definitely from listening to you. I'm like, okay, this dude got his own flavor. Like he is himself. Like this is this. Okay, cool. I know what I'm getting. Like if I click Chris Siders, I know I'm finna get something that's unique to Chris Siders. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get something that's like the light version of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody's child, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, I don't plan on doing that. Like this again, I keep talking about this next project, but like, yo, this next project, I got synth pop on it. I got some like
Hmm.
rock influences on it. I even got some gospel influences on it and lo-fi. And it's all on like
Right.
one project, one really unique project. And like, I just don't want people to like be like, maybe I shouldn't do it because maybe I'll look weird and whatnot. And the LA scene has that problem so bad. Like we all gotta look like flashy and everything and gotta stunt hard on people. Yeah, like stunt hard, but like be you at the same time.
Yeah.
Make that the stunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because once you're successful at being you, you can be successful at anything.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you is the thing that you were born with. You were born with you. Like trying to be a mild version of somebody else or a copy of somebody else or like a more intensified, like, oh, I'm gonna be like so and so, but I'm gonna be more intense, I'm gonna be more edgy. Like you can only keep that up for so long, you know what I'm saying? But if you've already mastered self, you can start to add aspects of other people to try and like open up your repertoire and open up your diversity of sound. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? It seems like you're definitely like honing in on what it is for self, you know what I'm saying? And once you're 110% master at that, like you're gonna be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like this next project gonna be crazy.
Man, I'm so excited for it. I've been working on this for like a year. For, like ever since like end of December. And we're like we're at the final stages of adding some stuff to it, but man, I'm just excited for it. Like I'm just so excited. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that sounds good to me. It's like you were like, "Oh yeah, I've been working on that for you." Good, good, good. Because a lot of people could use some more time in the oven. You know what I'm saying? They out here serving up undercooked meat, and they wonder why people got salmonella in mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, like cook that, put that back in there. It needs to cook a little bit more. Like that meat ain't even pink. It's just falling apart. Like it ain't good.
Yeah, and but then like also don't stay in the oven for too long because like this is something
Yeah.
like I kind of see a lot in my scene is that like we'll stay in the studio and cook all the time, but then we won't go outside and like talk to people, make connections. Again, it kind of goes back to the connection game that we was talking
Yeah.
about earlier. Like, yeah, like it's so much talent, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
so disheartening to see like that talent not being discovered. But then at the same time, like we all have a choice. You can either choose to do this or that.
Right.
And if you don't choose to like 110% invest in yourself, which also means, yeah, talk to the person in the room that you may not want to talk to, then how do you expect to progress even further? I'm
Mm.
not saying like sell your soul or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, but like you sometimes you may have to do things that you're not a fan of, and that's just everything in life. Do you think we all want to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning to talk to our boss Bob at work and shit? Like, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? But yeah, so again, striking that balance is such a delicate art.
I'm gonna ask all the Bobs out there though to push that meeting time back. Like give us till 8. Give us till 8, bro. Like why it gotta be 6
Bare
a.m.?
minimum.
Like like push that mug back. Can we eat can we eat breakfast? You know what I'm saying? Can a brother eat breakfast? I'm not even asking for much. I just need a sausage McGriddle and a hash brown. Like
See
I just
that
need time.
that sounds fire. That really
Yeah.
sounds fire. And you when you said Frank Ocean, that like you got a sense of like my sound and style coming still from Frank Ocean. Like, what song did you hear that got you that? And like, what did I do now?
Which
That one I got in all types of comparisons, like Our Future, Wu Tang, Kendrick Lamar, J Cole. Frank Ocean's a new one.
which one is that? Hold on. Let me Is it this one? No, it's not this one. No, no, it's not that one. It's not that one. Nope, it's not that one either. Cause I was playing the whole album while I was in the shower. Nope. Was it this one?
Is that Breeze Slow?
Yeah, it's pretty slow, but no, that's not it. It's Emancipation. It's Emancipation. That's what it was. It was Emancipation.
Huh?
It
Really?
was it was Emancipation. Yes. Yes, because
Hmm.
that first part that first and it's the guitar coming in and you're like kind of just like talking over it, but you're like talking, but you're like kind of rapping in a way, like at the same time.
Oh, okay. I can see that. I can see that. Um,
Yeah, because on what's that, on Blonde, he did something like that towards the end of one of the records. You know what I'm saying? And like Blonde is one of my like top favorite albums. So like as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, this reminds me of that record on Blonde. I just can't remember the song right now. But like, yeah.
damn. Okay, I did not think of that. So what influenced like the flow of that was a couple things. Shout out my boy, the Messiah, my
Mm-hmm.
homie Messiah. He has this super unique flow, and
Mm.
like again, being in the room with people that can influence you and contribute positivity to yourself.
Yep.
Watching him, I was like, let me try that flow in my own way, in my own style, and then also like listening to a lot of underground LA rap. Like, have you heard of
Mm-hmm.
like The Alchemist and
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of the
Evidence?
Alchemist.
Yeah, so like when I found that sample, I looped it and like pitched it down a little, And so like it just it has that loop, that little woozy feel to it. And
Yeah,
like I wanted to like try and like match that, but while rapping. So like it's kind of like talking and rapping.
yeah.
And he Alchemist does that a lot, and Evidence does that a lot, and like a few other artists that's kind of in that similar sound scene. And my
Mhm.
homie Messiah does that. And I was like, yeah, let me try that. And then damn,
Yeah, man.
damn, man. I did not think of that with
Yeah.
Frank Ocean.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Man, I told you I'd be out here. I'll be listening, man. I'll be listening. Um, but yeah, so I guess the final thing is, bro, what happened to you, bro? Like, did you see the other side? Like, what was over there? Like, I really want to know, like, what was on the other side when you went over.
So, all right, so this is what happened.
I mean,
This
if it's something serious, I wasn't really trying to joke. My fault, man.
No, 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 no,
Uh,
no, no, no. I didn't take it any kind of way.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
I'm just trying to like recollect those memories.
Yeah.
So September 5th, 2020, I got exposed to someone that had COVID. um,
Mhm.
and I got tested, and 4 days later, on the ninth, when I tested positive, it like literally hit me. As soon as like I got the ping on my phone, you're positive, like it just fucking hit me. And
Mhm.
had extreme fatigue, nonstop coughing. Like there was literally not a moment I wasn't coughing. And um there was even a point where it kind of felt like my heart was like about to burst out of my chest. Like it
Ooh.
was really bad. Um and then the day I was supposed to get off of quarantine, I coughed up blood in my toilet, and my oxygen level just dropped. And so got rushed to the hospital. I was in the ICU for about a week. The third day I was in the ICU, and they had me strapped to the chair, the little bed, because I was so weak I couldn't get up and move.
Mhm.
Um, like if I had to use the restroom, they would have to literally like pick me up, put me on the toilet, and then
Wow.
me go, and then they have to wipe me down, and then pick me back up and put me back in it. So
Oh, that's crazy.
um, and then so there was a moment where like everything just started to get blurry, and like I just freaked out, and like I was gone. Like it was just super blurry, and then I went black,
Okay.
and all I saw was pink, white, and blue lights, and there was like a sense of like just warm serenity, and I don't know how long I was out.
Wow.
And when I came back, like I just felt a needle slowly pulling out of my neck, because they was
Mm.
about to drill a hole and put me on the ventilator. Like
Oh,
that
wow.
would have been it. That like it was that dire. And
Yeah.
so um I came back, and then the next day my heart rate was over 200, and I'm just sitting there in bed. How
Wow.
can your heart rate be over 200 and you're just sitting there in bed? And one of the doctors
Oh.
was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you excited about something?" I'm like, "No, why?" And they wouldn't tell me until after I got released. They was like, "Yeah, your heart rate was over 200." I'm like, "The fuck?"
That's crazy.
And like also during that time, since it was so crazy with like the COVID deaths and like the ICU rooms being filled up, um, like visitation was only like 1 hour, and like you they handed my mom like the phone, and she would have to like call me from the other side of a glass that was like few feet away.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that was a really dark time. And then
That's
even
tough.
yeah, and when I got home, I was hallucinating a lot. Like I heard voices and stuff like that, and it was it
Mhm.
was pretty scary, but made it through. And it was through that situation where I got really connected back to God. And my
Mm.
friend Denisha, shout out Denisha.
Mm-hmm.
She was telling me, "Hey, go to Bible study, read up, and apply these lessons, apply these scriptures." And that's when the whole messages of people coming up to me saying, "You're divinely guided. You're divinely guided."
Mm-hmm.
That's when all that started to happen. And from there, that's when my life completely changed. I was over 330 pounds and I slimmed down to 160 in a year. And like, yo,
Bro, I was
all
like,
God, all God. Like, you know what I mean? I know I just dropped another bomb, but it just happened.
I was sure about to ask, like, yo, bro, how did you do it?
So like with that, I remember that was like March 2021. And
Mm-hmm.
God told me, "Hey, step on the scale." And I was like, "Damn, I'm like really fucking big." And I just went to work like the next day, like, all right, like, let's come up with a plan. I can't like do 20 minutes on a treadmill, so let's just start off with 5 on the slowest speed, then build up to
Mm.
10, then 15, 20. And then before I knew it, I'm doing an hour. Okay, let's up the speed. Let's up the incline. Now I do 65 minutes a day on the treadmill, on a high incline and like a mid speed, and gauntlet workouts, and like drinking more water and changing my diet and smalling the portion sizes. And at
Yeah.
the time, I completely cut out sugar, very low carbs, and so that's what I kind of did. And yeah, that's kind of how that happened.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. But that's crazy though. Like that's wild. Man, damn. Man, 310 to 6. That's half. You cut your weight in half, bro. You cut your weight in half. Like no shit. You cut your weight in half. That's incredible, bro. Like real talk, that's incredible. Half. We didn't talk about, oh, I lost 100 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you cut it in half, bro. Half.
All God, bro.
Yeah.
All God. So yeah, that's kind of the story of that. I mean, like, I've been slipping a little, but like I'm trying to maintain it. But hey,
I feel you.
bless.
I feel you, bro. So okay, so what's the last message you want to leave your fans and your people with, man?
Keep going no matter what. There's always something on the other side. Go at a pace. Put your mental and emotional health first. Always, 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 always. Don't think that you're not ahead of the curve, because you are, by taking care of
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And this is coming from someone that doesn't take care of themselves. That's the difference. That's the thing. Because I see other folks that really take care of themselves, and they're doing great. I still got a lot of work to do with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say or negate the fact that I'm getting better, but I could be so much further if I really took the time
Locked
out,
in, yeah.
really locked in. Um, and stay authentic to you and create what you want to create. Don't let these people be like, "Oh, you got to make like a trap record or whatever the case is." Like, if you like boom bap, make boom bap. If you like gospel, make gospel. Do what you want to do and be unapologetic about it.
Facts. And just and to add on to that, yeah, just stay authentically you and you'll be end up being the best you. And then next thing you know, people are actually listening to the record. You know what I'm saying? It's resonating with people because it's the best thing they've ever heard, because that's the best you they ever heard. Um, but you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I want to say, Chris Siders, I appreciate you coming on. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all out there for watching. Hopefully y'all can leave a like, y'all can subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely be linking his stuff in the bio, you know what I'm saying, of this video. Thank y'all so much for watching this episode number 262, The Emancipation. We're up out of here.
Yep.